What are you doing here?
Yes, learn from your brother who is giving us $2,500 a month.
Huh? That's me.
Oh, so you're lying to take credit for your brother's achievements? I can't believe it.
You're not a family member. I'm cutting ties with you.
I understand. These parents are no longer important to me. I will cut ties with them. They should realize what will happen when the allowance stops. My name is Mia. I am a 38-year-old company owner. The company was small at first, but now it has grown to have more than 20 employees. Since it is still a developing company, I want to expand its scale while cooperating with my employees in the future. They always say things like this.
Please confirm. There is a meeting at 4 p.m. The president of our business partner is calling.
I lead a hectic life like this, but I feel very fulfilled by my work. However, I could never have imagined being in the situation I am in now when I was younger. My family environment was not very good. It wasn't because we were poor or anything like that. But I had to drop out of high school and was then forced to leave home. The reason I had to leave home was because of my younger brother. My brother Michael was always smart from a young age and was called a genius by those around him. Seeing his high level of ability, my parents doted on him. They spent all their time on him. They made him take swimming, piano, cram school, and anything else they could think of. And my brother did well in everything. As a result, my parents' favoritism towards their son became even more intense.
Michael is really amazing.
He's our pride and joy. Let's go out for a fancy steak dinner with the three of us to celebrate.
Yay. Steak.
Mia, you stay home.
It's a waste to have steak with a failure like you.
My parents always called me a failure. It's not that I couldn't study, but my academic ability wasn't particularly high. I was slightly above average. However, my parents, who saw my brother's success, compared me to him and called me a failure. Their attitude towards me after that was terrible. First of all, they felt that everything about me was a waste. I couldn't get new clothes, and I had to wear hand-me-downs from my cousins. On the other hand, my brother always got new clothes, and he was taken shopping. He was always treated to delicious lunches and sweets, and he even got toys. When I heard that story, I was really shocked. Why did my parents have to distinguish so much between me and my brother? I was doing my best too. My parents seemed to have no interest in me. So they told me that I must only apply to public high schools with low tuition fees, and if I want to go to a private high school, I should work instead of going to high school. I never thought they would say something like that, so I studied hard and passed the entrance exam for a public high school. I thought it was good that I could finally become a high school student, but an incident occurred when I was a second-year high school student. It all started when my brother said he wanted to go to a private high school. In the area where I live, there was a public high school with the highest academic ability. But my brother said there was a private high school he wanted to attend more than that one. That school also had a high academic level, so my parents agreed. However, my parents, who had invested a lot of money in my brother, wanted to save money for his university education. At that time, I became the sacrifice.
Michael's future is more important than yours. So you should quit high school and work.
I couldn't believe my ears. I don't want to quit school. I have a lot of friends, and I want to go to college too.
Don't be selfish. We don't have money to spend on failures like you. Instead, repay us for raising you.
Don't take it for granted that you have food to eat every day.
My father and mother ordered me to drop out of school by force. I couldn't resist, so I had no choice but to quit high school. And so, I ended up getting a part-time job. While everyone was at school, I worked at a fast food restaurant and earned money. However, most of that salary was collected by my parents and became money for my brother's future tuition. Even though I was earning and giving them money, my parents didn't change their attitude towards me. I was very sad every day when I saw my brother having fun conversations with them in front of me. Moreover, one day I learned a surprising fact. It was when I was heading to work in the morning and passed by a neighbor, so I greeted them. Then they gave me a stern look and said this.
You shouldn't trouble your parents so much. Dropping out of high school and working part-time to play around, isn't that a misfortune for your parents? Michael is so splendid, but what are you doing to ruin your family's reputation?
I was so shocked that I couldn't move from that spot for a while. I never thought that the neighbor thought of me that way, and I thought it was definitely because of my mother. I had seen my mother bragging about my brother to the neighbors. She probably explained me like that at that time. They made my problem their own, even though they made me drop out of school for their convenience. According to the neighbor, my parents were worried about how to deal with me. They treated me like a nuisance, but they didn't even know how to deal with me. At that time, I didn't want to stay at home anymore. I'm leaving this house.
What are you talking about?
I can't admit that you live alone. We don't have that kind of money.
I'll live alone with my own earnings. I'll transfer the $350 I've been paying out of my salary every month until Michael goes to college, so I don't want to stay in this house anymore. When I said that, my parents finally allowed me to leave.
Haha, we don't really want to see your face either.
That's right. As long as Michael is here, there's no problem. We don't need an ungrateful and useless daughter.
My parents kept saying terrible things until the end. But I got permission, so I'll take it as a good thing. I immediately rented a room and moved out. I had no money at all, so I worked part-time jobs to earn a living. When I became an adult, I started working at a hostess bar on weekends to earn more money. That's when I started to put on makeup properly. I didn't even have money to buy cosmetics until then. But here, I had to put on makeup properly to look beautiful. I asked other cast members for cheap cosmetics, and I worked hard to get them with a small budget. Then I did my own research and came up with makeup that would make me look cuter. Whether it was effective or not, I gradually started to get more and more popular and my income increased. I quit one of my part-time jobs and increased my work at the hostess bar. Since I had worked in customer service before, there was no problem with honorifics and so on. The longer I worked, the more my income increased, and I was able to save money. Then I had a certain desire. That was to go to college. As a high school student, I couldn't earn tuition fees by myself. But now that I was a working adult and my income had increased, I thought I could go to college. From then on, I started studying for the entrance exam in my free time. And a year later, I was able to pass the university entrance exam. I enrolled in a university with a school of pharmacy. The reason I chose that university was because I wanted to develop cosmetics in the future. When I was working at the hostess bar, I became very interested in cosmetics because I did a lot of research on makeup. After that, I spent 4 years going to college while working at the hostess bar to pay for my living expenses. After graduating from college, I was able to get a job at a cosmetics company. I felt like I was getting closer to my dream step by step and was able to spend a very fulfilling time. After I started working, I worked hard every day. Since it was something I was interested in, I was able to gain new knowledge every day, and it was a lot of fun. I became more and more absorbed in the world of cosmetics and achieved results in my work. Then I started to think that I wanted to make my own cosmetics and sell them. From there, I started raising funds for my startup. I worked hard every day with my dream as my driving force. There was a time when I thought I would cut down on food expenses and only eat mung beans. And then, a few years ago, I started my own company. It was my first time running a business, and I was too scared to know what would happen, but my curiosity won out. From then on, I developed cosmetics while doing my own sales. My steady efforts bore fruit, and I gradually gained more contracts. I think I was able to build up trust and credibility by carefully completing each job in front of me. At the time of the company's establishment, there was hardly any profit, But now that sales have increased considerably, I am surprised to be able to earn an income that is quite surprising even to myself. When I was thinking of continuing to work hard like this, I received a call from an unknown number. Who could it be? I had a bad feeling, but maybe it was a new business partner. I thought it would be a problem if it was a business partner, so I answered the phone. Hello?
Hey, it's been a while, Mia.
Wait, is this Michael?
You got it.
What's up all of a sudden? I was surprised when my brother called me. The last time I talked to him was when I left home. It's been over 10 years since then. I wonder why he called me now.
I saw you in a business magazine. I was reading it casually and saw a face that looked familiar and was surprised.
I thought. Uh-oh. I did receive an offer for a magazine interview. But I thought my parents wouldn't read it anyway, so I thought it would be okay to accept the interview. But my brother read the article at that time and found out that I was running a company. So what's up? You didn't call me just to report that you saw me in a magazine, did you?
Wow, you're sharp. Actually, I want you to send money to Mom and Dad.
Huh? Send money? Why me? I had a falling out with my parents. I've been treated pretty badly, so there's no reason for me to send them money. I don't want to send money.
Don't say that. Actually.
Huh? Dad got laid off?
Yeah, it seems like they're having a hard time making ends meet, and Mom always looks sad since she got sick.
Huh? Really? I was quite shaken. Even though I've been treated so badly, they're still my parents. I'm worried that my family is going through a tough time.
Are you willing to send money?
Well, if it's just a little bit, I can help.
Great, then I'll give it to them. I'm asking for a monthly allowance of $2,500.
$2,500? That's a bit too much.
No, when Mom was sick, she had to have surgery and hospitalization, which cost a lot of money. And then Dad got laid off, so it's been tough.
I see. I ended up accepting my brother's request and transferring $2,500 as he told me to. Even though they treated me so badly, I couldn't help but feel that I wanted to take care of my parents because they're still my parents. I wanted to help if I could improve the current difficult situation. So I sent money to my parents. It was not a cheap amount, but I was able to live as usual while sending $2,500 a month because I was running a company and had a high income. After that, I sent money to the account my brother told me to while busy with work every day. I still didn't have the courage to meet my parents. But it had been about 3 months since I started sending money, so I thought it would be nice if they contacted me soon. Maybe the fact that my parents are receiving money from me is hard to accept for them who have always denied me. They might not want to admit that they are in a situation where they need help. I spent restless days with various emotions crossing my mind. Then I thought I had no choice but to talk to my parents directly. I wanted to meet them after a long time and hear what they were thinking now. But my brother stopped me when I told him that.
Well, Mom and Dad are feeling down now. So I think meeting them might be a little too stimulating.
Really? But I'm sending money every month.
Yeah, but there are a lot of things going on with Mom and Dad. So please wait a little longer to meet them.
My brother told me not to meet my parents like that. And he didn't tell me where my parents were at all. The place where my parents used to live was a rental apartment, but it seemed that they no longer lived there after more than 10 years. My brother still wouldn't let me meet my parents. I thought it would be faster to look for them myself. So I asked a detective agency to find out where they were. My parents were living in a certain apartment. It was a high-rent apartment. Are they really in financial trouble? When I pressed the intercom, I heard my mother's voice. It was the first time I had heard my mother's voice in a long time.
Who are you?
I wondered if she didn't recognize me after more than 10 years. It's me, Mia. It's been a while, Mom. When I said that, my mother fell silent. Hello? Are you there, Mom? I was worried that the intercom had been cut off. Then my mother said in a cold voice,
What are you here for? We don't have any money.
She seemed to have some kind of misunderstanding, so I told her that I just wanted to see how they were doing. Anyway, I had the entrance door of the apartment opened and then headed to the room where my parents lived. When I pressed the doorbell, my mother opened the door and greeted me. And there was my father. Hey, it's been a while. My father and mother didn't look much different, but they looked their age.
What did you come here for?
My parents glared at me with their arms crossed. Hey, don't be so wary. Michael told me that you guys were in a tough situation.
Michael?
Yeah, he said that you were laid off and that Mom had surgery.
It was tough.
But we were saved by Michael. You haven't done anything. So why did you suddenly come here now?
Huh? I haven't done anything?
That's right. What are you doing here?
You should learn from your brother who sends $2,500 a month.
I didn't understand. Huh? That's me though. I mean, I'm the one who sends $2,500
Are you trying
a
to
month.
take credit for your brother's achievements by lying? I can't believe it.
You're not family. I'm cutting ties with you.
My parents didn't believe anything I said. But since I had transferred the money to my brother's account and he had given it to them directly, they probably didn't believe that it was from me. It was cruel of them to insult me like that and say that they would cut ties with me. I had been sending them money for the past few months to help them.
Your existence has been a nuisance since the beginning.
Yes. We only needed Michael.
Got it. I don't care anymore. I'll cut ties with these parents myself. They should realize what will happen when the money stops. I went home immediately. And I decided not to send them money anymore. The next day, my brother called me, but I ignored him. He would probably just insult me too. I won't send him money anymore, and there's nothing to talk about. I blocked my brother's calls and returned to my daily life. I have a lot of work to do because it's very busy. It was already the next month before I knew it. Then I received a call from an unknown number. I thought it was a prank call, but it kept calling me, so I answered it fearfully. Huh? Is that you, Mom?
Yes. It's been a long time.
What's wrong? Why is Mom calling me?
Don't say it like that. We're parent and child, aren't we?
Weren't we supposed to cut ties?
I don't want to. That was, a joke.
I see. They can't make ends meet because I stopped sending them money. And when they urged my brother, he probably told them that I was sending them money.
If you were sending us money, you should have told us from the beginning.
I did explain it like that, but you didn't believe me.
But at that time, Michael said he was sending us money. Besides, Michael was living with us and paying part of the rent for that room.
I see. You were living together. It seems that my brother also benefited from my money.
It's your father. I can't believe Mia is running a company. You're my proud daughter.
My father tried to flatter me. This is a complete turnaround. Last month, you said that you only needed Michael.
Well,
I don't want to be manipulated by you anymore, so I'll tell you clearly. I won't have anything to do with you anymore. I'll cut ties with you and Michael. If you appear in front of me again, I'll call the police without mercy. Don't show your face to me again.
wait a minute.
That's right. We can't live without your money.
I've been sending you money for about 6 months, so you should have some savings.
No. When we moved to a new place, we bought expensive furniture and appliances, so all the money's gone every month.
I see. Then sell the furniture and pay the rent. Anyway, I won't have anything to do with you anymore.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
I said that and hung up the phone and immediately blocked their calls. According to what I heard from relatives, my parents and brother were begging for money from relatives. I suddenly wondered if my brother, who was good at studying, couldn't produce results at work. When I asked a relative about it, it seemed that my brother couldn't get a good job. Moreover, my proud brother failed at work without listening to his boss and quit the company because he couldn't bear the cold looks from his surroundings. After that, he worked as a part-time worker and earned about $700 per month. He couldn't tell my parents about it because of his pride, so he put the money I gave him into my parents' house as if he had earned it himself. Well, even if he did that, he would eventually be exposed, and it's all his own fault. I'm going to forget about my parents and brother and keep moving forward with my life. My current family is the employees who work for my company. I'll work hard today to protect their lives.
Thank you for watching until the end. If you like, please subscribe to my channel. Let's meet again in the next video. How was this story? Please also, subscribe to my channel. Well then, let's meet again in the next video.